Okay, so I just wanted to share a quick connection between the line of Moab and some of the secrets of our 47th president, Trump, and the connection between the mother of all bombs, or the Moab, and the line of Moab, which is connected to Lot and the aftermath of Sodom and Gomorrah, and how the line was started through Lot's incest between his daughters, okay? How this is relevant is some of the secrets about the 47th president and his obsession with the blonde bombshells, right? The bombshells is the crab gate, or the act of bombing the gates of Eden, which represents the crab gate, okay? And so, for him, he's like a manifestation of Prometheus, or he's possessed by that energy, or he's trying to enact that energy as in his own character and his own vehicle. This is his version of it, right? And so, the mother of all bombs is called a Moab, right? And Moab is the line that was started in incest between Lot and his daughters after Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. So the forbidden Moab, or the lamp, which is the burning bush in Trump's life. This would be like his burning bush, or what he aspires for victory to with the end game, like his trophy or whatever. What that is in his life is his daughter, which is like the blazing star, the Barbie doll, Ivanka, right? Ivanka is like that image of that Barbie doll. Blazing star symbolism that I keep seeing, right? And so the God of the Bible renewed his covenant with Israel at the location of Moab before the Israelites entered the Promised Land. So that was a location where the covenant was renewed, which represents for me the daughter behind the gates of Eden, right? So that would be Deuteronomy 29:1 would be where that's found at. And then Moses died at the closed gate of Moab, okay? So that's Deuteronomy 34:5, which he was prevented by God from entering this promised land. So to me, that's like the visual image I see is of him standing outside of the gates of Moab, which is the daughter, right? And him not being able to enter because that was the farthest that he could go, right? And so it's finished in Prometheus in the characterization of this force, or this energy that shows up as a klipoth or character, which is us. We are the ones playing all this shit out, right? So the actual entering of the gate has not yet happened, as far as the storyline goes. Okay, so, Trump essentially is cosplaying Prometheus, like the pyromaniac, right? He loves to play with fire, and he sets things on fire, burning structures down, and he's obsessed with fire, right? Or the forbidden daughter, which would be like the allegory for, like, why he's obsessed with the fire, because he's obsessed with the blazing torch, which represents the daughter. Okay, behind the gates of Eden. It's kind of like the genie, I Dream of Jeannie. Her name was Barbara Eden, okay? And she was a blonde woman, she was wearing pink. And she's supposed to represent that genie, or the Jedi, that's locked behind the gates of time that are created by the two pillars folding into an X in the center, and that's what we're standing on. We're standing on the X, which is the 10, and the 10 is Malchut, the earth. But we're standing outside of the X because it's closed off like a garden, like the gate. The gate is closed off, so that X represents the gate. So when you unravel the two infinity pillars of the left and the right, or the mother and the father, Shokma, is the secondary father, the loop, the other loop, and then the loop of the feminine is the superior mother, Bina. But Malchut is the inferior mother. There's two mothers. The inferior mother is actually the father behind the gate, and that's the origin of the word Moab actually means this, which I found pretty incredible whenever I looked this up. So, Trump, did I already say that? Yeah. So, he uses his accessibility to this torch. Trump is, and also the character that plays the actual character of this, that uses their accessibility to this torch to set structures of government and stability on fire. This is to get people's attention and to rouse them from their stagnancy, like Prometheus, so like when you see all this crazy stuff going around, all around you, it starts to move you to think more about things and to question your reality, right? So Prometheus represents bringing the light, or the light bringer, the morning star that is falling from his high place in the masculine pillar to bring the light down into the underworld, which represents the feminine. Alright, so this gets people's attention, and even though it's violence and there's a lot of chaos and things going around, this brings the fire in the form of anarchy and rebellion and change, right? So, and it also removes the structures of government and it exposes them for what they are. Okay, and then it also helps expose the false paradigm of this place. Not only just the governments themselves, but the nature of this reality itself. If the initiate, or the person who is thinking this deeply about it, can go as far as to get to that point in their thought process, but it's not what everybody does, right? So Trump's untouchable lamp, or the blazing star, or the Moab is Ivanka to him, or any blonde woman that looks like Ivanka, okay? That's why he's obsessed with blonde women and blue eyes, and because that's his daughter. That's his epitome of what he finds to be like what's behind the garden, right? And then the whole younger aspect too is like that, the whole idea of the daughter or whatever, the daughter, the youthful, fountain of youth, the cup in the hand of the harlot. The cup is also the lamp, and it's also the blazing star, and it's also the axe. It's many different things that it can represent, to show its function, right? And so, the untouchable lamp, or the blazing star, is Ivanka, and Trump has already confessed that that's his, that's his trophy, that's his epitome of, like, life, right? Of why he's here, whatever. He's already confessed in multiple interviews that he has incestuous thoughts and feelings about her countless times, even though he does it in a joking manner and all of that. There's just a lot of weirdness to it, and there's a lot that suggests that maybe it's more than just thoughts, right? And so, yeah, he goes on and on about this in his interviews and stuff. And there is a strong rumor out there, actually, that Trump's son, Barron Trump, is actually Ivanka's child with her father. Which, that's a pretty, crazy out there one, but it's definitely a rumor, and it's definitely that one I've seen, and it's definitely one that is a big rumor that I've seen that, where I've seen, like, 500,000 views or 1,000,000 views, so it's not like a small rumor. It's something that's definitely conjured up in the minds of people and has gained popularity in the collective. And so, I don't know if it's true or not, obviously, but I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, I don't really care, honestly, but just saying that is a part of the diaspora of his character, right? And so, what else do I gotta say about this? Yeah, he keeps telling Iran to cry uncle, right? And I just keep getting this idea of the uncle father, right? The uncle father, he wants to be the uncle father. Which is like being an uncle and a father at the same time, like this whole back to the Moab thing, like he's showing his line through his like identity through like the Moab archetype. And then also Moab means it means his mother is his father. So that's also what it means. So I just show you right here where it says other interpretations suggest that it could abbreviate to Moab, which means his mother is his father. And I was kind of blown away with this because I have ad nauseum over and over and over have stated this countless times just so that I could reinforce the idea to anybody who is listening and actually is interested in, like, what the fuck I'm actually talking about, like, actually understanding it, so that it can become concrete in their mind what I'm talking about, right? And so, the inferior mother, okay? The inferior mother is Malchut, okay? There's two mothers. There's the superior mother, Bina. There's the inferior mother, Malchut. Just to call her inferior mother just means that she's the daughter, right? She's not quite a mother yet. She has the capability of being a mother, but she's not. She's still considered the daughter because, allegorically, in her youth, she's supposed to represent the youthful aspect of the feminine, right? Or a whole other entire character, like as the actual literal daughter, right? So, but the secret about her is that, she is the secret father, Kedar, behind the gates of Eden. So this makes sense if Moab means his mother is his father, because that's what I've been saying. The inferior mother is the father behind the gate. This is Kedar. Kedar is the crown, right? The crown is the father, is the actual father. The secondary father is the son, Hokmah, which is always equated to Jesus, right? And so, this is where I'm getting the situation between the two. Okay, I'm just seeing if I'm still recording. So, this open gate is a result of the forbidden union, okay? So, between the secondary father, Hokmah, who is actually really the sixth Sephiroth, Tifereth, who ascended to Hokmah, right? So, he's still the son. He's the son that became the father in the system, okay? Outside of the system is the father, the alpha father, right? Behind the gates, closed into the gates, is the secondary father, Hokmah, who is the equivalent of Prometheus, with the torch going around, causing the light, bringing the light, or you can see it as destruction, like, you know, Trump is that kind of agent of destruction, or bringing about enlightenment, but in a very not so graceful manner, right? So he has his way of doing it, and the actual real manifestation of Prometheus or Jesus is doing it through teaching others and enlightening others, okay? And so they both work hand in hand. Jesus uses these other characters to prove his point as to his ministry of what he came here to get Bina, the mother, to investigate and search for herself, because Bina means to understand. So the goal of becoming Bina, or the superior mother, for the inferior mother to become the superior mother, is for her to put on the clothes of the superior mother. And what would that be? The archetype of understanding, which is investigating and gathering information and intuition-based knowledge, following one's nose, right, and one's heart. And also combining that with Hokmah, which is the intel, okay, which is the truth, which is the knowledge, right? So it's not just about all what is it? It's not all about intuition. It's about blending the intuition with the insight that's coming through Hokmah, because he's giving us flashes of insight through working with him. So the forbidden union between the secondary father Hokmah, who is the son Tifereth, and the inferior mother Malchut, who is the daughter, is the goal. And it's connected to Moab.